Hello and welcome to my presentation. Today I'll be talking about talent management framework for iWorkinSport. A talent management framework gives structure to the organizational plan to meet the human capital and business needs within the organization. It helps to make sure that organizations have everything in place to successfully execute on your talent management strategy and boost the workforce's performance. Next, I'll be talking about contents. A solid talent management framework helps organizations execute their talent management strategy and improve performance. So, how to develop and implement such a framework for iWorkinSport? What is a talent management framework and how is it important? How does iWorkinSport need a talent? Why does iWorkinSport need a talent management framework? What are the elements of talent management framework? And the most important 7 steps to develop a talent management framework in iWorkinSport that will help to improve strategy and performance of the organization. Next slide, I'll be talking about what is a talent management framework and what are its contents and what is the importance for iWorkinSport. A talent management framework gives structure to plan to meet the human capital and business needs within the organization. It helps to make sure that everything is in place to successfully execute in iWorkinSport talent management strategy. A good framework outlines different areas of talent management in the organization. It presents activities that can carry out in each area to maximize its effectiveness in the talent management strategy. With a proper customized talent management framework, the efficiency can be increased within the organization's talent pool. A useful talent management framework gives an edge on human capital management which provides an idea to achieve it. Next, why does iWorkinSport need a talent management framework and how does this framework increase their effectiveness and efficiency in the organization and for the organization's performance? Many organizations do not have a formal talent management framework. Some of the things that our solid talent management framework helps with are as follows. Attracting and retaining top talent. This is one of the basic and most need component for the organization. A recent Tiny Pulse survey found that 76% employees are looking for growth opportunities. A talent management framework can help to demonstrate what a company can do for its employees, enabling to attract new talent and retain them. Not necessary to look outside for growth if there is a plan within the organization to grow. Next, improving employee and organizational performance. Having a scheduled maintenance plan is really necessary in the organization. Likewise, the organization can increase the employee and organizational performance by carefully monitoring and avoiding any unnecessary disruptions that comes in the organization. Engaging employees. A proper talent management framework with a useful talent dashboard enables the organization to keep the employees engaged. Career growth, development, and training strategies can be discussed as well for the improvement and for the improving the performance in the organization. For many organizations, their human capital is far more valuable than their physical capital. So, how can this be strengthened? Strengthening talent development strategies. There should be a directional goal to develop a good talent strategies. With a talent management framework gives an idea to figure out what skills are lacking behind the employees. Next, improving succession planning. Many organizations lack succession plans altogether, so having one alone is a great benefit. Making it a part of talent management framework will give direction, helps identify talent gaps and prepare the organization for the future and for the better future. Next, I'll be talking about elements of talent management framework. Why is it important? Important elements for iWorkinSport. When building a talent management framework, it is important to keep in mind that each framework needs to fit according to the business needs. It is worth to develop and grow the current talent rather than chasing each role's perfect person. It is necessary to identify high potential leaders based on performance, potential, and readiness. To develop the leader's specific learning needs in a variety of contexts, including on the job. Organization needs to support the leaders with feedback and mentoring from a range of people within the organization. Next, I'll be talking about to identify business needs and companies' values and goals. And some of the important values that are need to be considered in the organization. First and foremost important one is talent acquisition, talent development, performance management, succession planning, talent engagement, organizational results, aligning learning with organizational goals, learning and development strategy in place, nurturing a learning culture. Again, all these components needs to fit in with the framework of the business needs and the company's values and goals. Of course, organization can begin with a plan that gives a detailed step by step resulting in more than 40 steps. But it can often be useful to start with one of these simple plans. Once the organization have the backbone of the talent management framework, they can then start breaking it down into more detailed actions to take place. Let's consider talent development as an example. Framework could contain the following steps. Aligning learning with organizational goals is a very important component, and it's a very important thing to consider in the organizational development. Organizing and learning and development strategy should be in place. Nurturing a learning culture is most important to build a good culture in the organization. And measuring training effectiveness is also an important to train the employees according to the organization needs. The critical part of any framework is that it should be more of employee focused. If the requirement cannot meet the needs of the employees, iWorkinSport will not be able to succeed. So, to develop a plan by working with the organization people to find solutions. For instance, when developing the talent management frameworks, succession plan, planning position, speaking with the employees is necessary to determine their wants. If the company requires relocation to develop all the skills necessary for senior position, it is better to make sure that the plan is in are willing to move when the time comes, meaning the people are willing to move when the time comes when they want to move for the next position in the organization. Performance management is often an overlooked part of the plan. Performance management is just not by removing people who do not meet the expectations in the organization, but it is necessary to truly manage them. A good talent management strategy will help managers and leadership in coaching and developing the employees. So, finally, overall, at all times, employers need to go back to the organizational goals and demands to make sure the talent strategy aligns with that. People may wish to go one way, but business needs may need to go another way. Human capital management cannot ignore business needs in favor of creating happy employees. There are times when employees need to be part ways with the company, and you need to replace them with people whose personal goals align with the business goals. Next, the important section is the 7 steps to develop a talent management framework in iWorkinSport. Developing a talent management framework will reduce everyone's stress in the organization and workload eventually. Steps that are much needed to be considered to develop the framework. First one, the get leadership buy-in. For the organization to have get leadership buy-in, it needs to have alignment across the organization. If human resource department develops the framework on their own, it will be a wasteful project. So there needs to be a support at the C level down, which is critical for the successful framework. So what does this C level means? So C level executives will have the qualities who are having combination of leadership qualities, management qualities and interpersonal skills. Next one, to analyze iWorkinSport needs. To build a proper framework, the iWorkinSport, the organization needs to understand business goals which is very important. Organization needs to conduct a formal needs analysis and speak to various people to understand the objectives within the organization for the organization overall organizational development. It is difficult to assess talent needs and gaps without understanding business needs and their gaps. Next, to review the employee life cycle. By reviewing each stage of employee life cycle, it will help in identifying where the potential for improvement is required in the organization from the employees. Good sourcing techniques will help the business to succeed. Employees need to be given clear path and sufficient opportunities for learning and development in the organization. Next, to identify the elements of talent management. Not only organization need to identify the elements but needs to figure out how to measure these elements. Organization needs to measure key performance indicators and need to make sure whether it fits into the overall business goals. Talent acquisition is one of the important elements of the framework. A good metric to track would be time to hire, but helps to evaluate the efficiency of the recruitment process. Next, organization needs to be more employee centric. The right employees need the proper support and development to grow. The best talent management frameworks are employee centered. Along with talent and human capital are most interlinked in the organization. As an employee centric, less hour a week of work is very much important to succeed in the organization and to retain the employees for a long term business. Next one, to develop tools to make the framework work. The necessary system for communication and collaboration, documentation and integration across departments and division is so important to increase the employees' skills. A framework needs proper tools to progress within the organization and to meet the business goals and objectives. The final one is framework needs to be put into action. Action speaks louder than words. So as framework needs to be put into action and needs to be worked on. This is an organizational transformation. For all transformation, there needs to be resistance. Employee needs proper support who struggle with the transformation and who will help the transformation happens within the organization. And we have come to the conclusion of the presentation. I'll be concluding this presentation with main 5 bullet points. Organizing a talent management framework in place will take time and effort. However, it is fully aligned with talent management strategy and with organizational goals. The plan needs to be sustainable and needs to improve the tools needed to help the employees and the business to perform better and better. All there will help guide the organization in the future by providing a high return on investment. Meaning, this framework, talent management strategy framework, will guide the organization to keep moving in the future and it will also provide a high return on investment. Thank you for listening, and myself Ishpal Devanganagesh, and my student ID is 9791345, and below is my student email address. Thank you for your patience, and if you have any questions please do let me know. Thank you.